This is a fan audio description for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Trailer 2. This is an expanded description due to the amount of dialogue. Only a transcript is available. New trailer starts now. Spider-Man leaps through the city and lands. Spider-Man's eyes narrow quizzically. In a glitching scarlet hexagonal tunnel, Spider-Man 2099 walks menacingly towards us. His chest insignia is a blood-red spider that looks like a skull. A dark-skinned woman with a natural afro dressed in red and black leather speeds in front of Spider-Man 2099 on a motorcycle. In a city, a Spider-Man with medium-length, thick, dark hair propels himself through the air. His mask and uniform have blue and white Indian designs that resemble spiders and spider webs. His red top covers his arms and hands. His pants are dark blue and he wears a lighter blue sash tied around his waist. His footwear is a paler blue, leaving his toes and heels exposed. He wears long gold bracelets and anklets. Unmasked, Gwen pulls her white spider hood over her blonde hair. On a speeding train, Spider-Man 2099 sprints like a predator towards an unmasked Miles. Miles turns and shoots webs at Spider-Man 2099. Title: Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse New Trailer.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man.
Spider-Man swings on a thread past a gray building. He lands and rolls on the side of a brick building. Miles rushes down a school hallway lined with lockers as he pulls his blue blazer on. Now as Spider-Man, he launches webs, catching a taxi flying through the air. Nearby people duck.
And things are going great.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
He leaps through the air with wide eyes. As Miles, he carries a stack of red boxes and pushes open a door to a rooftop party. Miles unstacks the boxes. Rio, his mother, narrows her eyes. Her long, wavy, dark brown hair is braided and draped over her right shoulder. Her golden brown skin is accented by a golden necklace with a green gem. She wears a loose, flowy red top. Jefferson, his father, sports a buzz cut and a thin mustache. His glasses have a slight tint. He has a medium brown complexion. He wears a fitted, almost tight short-sleeved button-up shirt with a purplish tint. His crossed arms cause his biceps to expand, making the shirt look tight. Miles looks up sheepishly with furrowed brows. He has a curly blowout-style haircut. He wears a blue and red jersey under a gray hooded jacket, all underneath a dark fluffy jacket.
So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
I am the Spot. That's not funny.
Don't do that.
In a bodega, a thin, lanky man stands in front of an ATM. He reaches into a dark hole in front of the ATM, and his hand appears through another portal to grab a can. The man wears a skin-tight white bodysuit with black spots on it. He wears a gray zipper hoodie and a brown bucket hat. Miles, in his black and red Spider-Man suit, eats something. His mask is pulled up slightly, revealing his mouth and nose.
I am the Spot. That's not
The Spot leans against a shelf, and slices of bread fall out of a black hole on his stomach. Miles finishes off his food and pulls down his mask. He shoots webs at the Spot, who falls back into a hole.
Miles's grades are pretty good. A in AP Physics.
That's my little man.
And a B in Spanish.
Ooh, okay. Miles. Are you trying Mira, eso es imposible.
I gotta go. All right, bye.
He's lying to you. And I think you know it.
In an office with windows, Rio gazes at Jeff, who's in his police uniform. Jeff looks at his phone. Behind them, the Spot and Spider-Man launch out of a portal, cartwheeling comedically through the air into another portal. Later, Miles ducks past a window and enters the office. Rio and Jeff give Miles a worried glance as he sits down. The person on the other side of the desk is a smaller woman holding a large clipboard. She has a pale complexion with bright green eyes gazing over thin rectangular glasses. She sports a black bob with a streak of silver in her long bangs. The bulletin board behind her is packed with posters and pamphlets. A nearby filing cabinet is stuffed to the brim with paper sticking out. Rio places her arms on Miles' shoulders and rocks him.
And a B in Spanish.
Rio's eyes widen and her jaw drops. Miles closes his eyes as he winces. Jeff looks away. Wavy lines vibrate as his spidey senses tingle. Seen from a window, the Spot lands on a roof with an ATM unnoticed by the others. Miles slams the door. The dark-haired woman types on a computer, while Rio glances at Jeff with a dour expression. Logos: Sony, Columbia. Sony Pictures Animation, in association with Marvel.
Miles! Wanna get out of here?
Oh, Gwen?
Miles lies in bed as a glitchy hexagonal portal opens above him. Objects start to float around him. Inside the portal, Gwen stares down at him. He pokes his head out of an apartment window. Gwen stands perpendicular to the brick wall below him.
So wait a minute. There's an elite crew with all the best spider people in it? Who's the new guy?
Spider-Man dives through the hexagonal tunnel as the colors glitch, distort, and invert. The Spider-Woman with the afro stands on a red motorcycle and shoots webs from the fingers of her outstretched hand. Now, she sits on a bike and gazes down at her pregnant belly. On a stage, a pinkish energy wall opens as Spider-Man India and Gwen stare at a punk rock Spider-Man. He has metal spikes as a mohawk running down his head and wears a torn sleeveless jacket and ripped skinny jeans over his Spider-Man suit. He rocks out on a guitar as jagged lines with the word Spider-Punk explode off the guitar. Spider-Man India soars past our view. His golden bangle glimmers.
This is unbelievable.
This is the lobby.
Miguel O'Hara.
The whole thing was his idea.
Gwen and Miles stand unmasked in a large opening. Several other spider people stand behind them on the floor and ceiling. Plants grow from the ceiling as if the ceiling is actually the floor. Our view pulls away to reveal more spider people walking and talking and sitting on beams. Some are standing upright and others are upside down, like they're in an MC Escher drawing. Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara dives out of a portal as he glitches. Now, he stands on some sort of brown object with ropes attached to it. As violet lines swirl around him, he swipes and kicks. Standing in front of an orange hexagonal portal, Spider-Man 2099 tosses an object at Gwen, who catches it. Spider-Woman stands next to Spider-Man 2099. Gwen looks concerned at the object in her hand. It looks like a metal bracelet, slightly larger than a shot glass. A large orange triangular screen flashes.
What's a guy gotta do to join this spider team?
You can never be part of this.
Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 1999-99.
Come on, go easy on the kid. He had a terrible teacher.
Peter!
Miles!
You have a baby?
I have a baby.
I'll take it from here.
Several spider people stroll down a walkway. In a tall room lit by a narrow overhead beam of light, Gwen and Miles look up at a platform. Spider-Man 2099 stands silhouetted, his red spider emblem glowing. He stands in front of several monitors. On the monitors are hexagons with lines webbing out. He clenches his fist. Gwen stands in front of Miles as they look up. A bold streak of blue light illuminates part of their faces. Spider-Man 2099 turns. He's unmasked. Miguel has slicked back hair, sharp, angular facial features, and a worn face illuminated by red and blue light. Miles smiles as he and Gwen turn toward the voice.
He had a terrible teacher.
Peter and Miles hug. Peter gives Miles a once-over as a baby swings past. Peter wears a fluffy pink bathrobe over his suit and a blue papoose on his chest. Mayday has long, wavy, slightly curly red hair. She climbs a wall. Miguel pinches the bridge of his nose. Peter holds his arms out as Mayday lands safely in his hands. Glitching yellow energy radiates from Miguel.
Miles, being Spider-Man is a sacrifice. You have a choice between saving one person and saving every world.
Send me home.
I can't do that.
Text. This June. In a multi-panel comic style, Miles runs through a rainy city. The upper panel is a wide shot showing him leaping between multiple rooftops. The bottom panel is a closer view of his upper body and head. Spider-Gwen cradles an unmasked Spider-Man lying in debris. Unmasked, Gwen stands with a sullen expression as the hexagonal portal twirls behind her. Miles, unmasked, stares with wide eyes as he and the mosaic-like background glitch. Jefferson hangs by one hand from an unfinished building. The wooden board breaks and he plummets. In a city with Indian designs, Spider-Man uses his webs to dive faster, reaching out with an open hand. In a control room, a spider-person glitches purple. She speeds forward, leaving a glitching echo behind. Her mask dematerializes and reveals a feminine face, staring wide-eyed. Miguel sprints forwards. His hands are clenched but slightly open to reveal sharp claws. He wears a ferocious expression bearing vampire-like fangs and his eyes are red. A solid white figure sits hunched over in a white abyss filled with black ink splotches. Miles' eyes flash open and his eyes warble. Since this is like a comic book, the outline of his irises ripple and distort. His brown irises and pupils expand and warp like runny eggs. In a dark abyss, Miguel stands above Miles, and another figure glows gold in the distance.
I can do both! Spider-Man, always!
Not always.
What about Uncle Ben?
If not for Uncle Ben, most of us wouldn't be here.
Spider-Man swings through an Indian city. He propels himself through an underpart of a bridge. Peter carries Mayday in the papoose and closes his eyes, as if avoiding Miles' gaze. Other spider people stand silhouetted behind Peter.
What about Uncle Ben?
If not for Uncle Ben...
Gwen closes her eyes and sighs.
Can't stop me now! You can't run forever, kid!
I can't lose one more friend.
Unmasked, Miles looks at his open hands and dashes towards an opening. Miguel, crouching as if he just protected his face, turns and sprints like a predator after Miles. Peter is hunched over, protecting Mayday. Spider-Gwen kneels slightly. other Spider People in various states of sitting or sprawled out. Miles free falls. Spider-Man 2099 lands on a futuristic car, knocking it into another. Spider-Man 2099 swipes at Miles, who spins, dodging the attack. Gwen sits in a dark room, illuminated by the slightly open door. She looks down with a neutral expression. A Polaroid of her unmasked in a spider uniform, and Miles in a hoodie sits on a book or a box. They are both smiling in the photo.
Miguel, this isn't what we talked about!
You knew?
I have no idea what you're doing!
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go.
Miles and Spider-Man 2099 fall through the hexagonal tunnel. An explosion knocks officers over their vehicles. Peter and Gwen hang onto the roof of a speeding train. Peter holds on with one hand as the other protects Mayday's head. A horde of Spider People crawl over the roof of the speeding train. Miles stares through the gap between Spider-Man 2099's arm as he pins Miles down. In a city, Spider-Man swings and leaps through traffic. In a dark abyss, Peter, Miles, Gwen, and another figure stare at red hexagons cracking and expanding outward like a web or breaking glass. At the rooftop party, Miles throws his hood on and storms away from his parents. Miles slowly inches his hand towards Gwen's as they sit on a ledge. They look out towards an upside-down city skyline.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
All stations, stop Spider-Man!
Blue bioelectricity surges through Miles' body as Miguel pins him down. Miguel's eyes open wider, and Miles shoots webs. Spider-Man 2099 claws his way up the speeding train. As the city glitches behind her, Gwen pulls up her white spider hood. Spider-Man 2099 slowly stalks forward as Spider-Woman shoots out of a portal on her motorcycle. The Scarlet Spider lands in a rainy city. He wears a slick red bodysuit with a blue, torn, sleeveless hoodie with a spider symbol on it. Various Spider People look at the wrist with a holographic projection of Spider-Man 2099. The three closest to us are Sony's PS4 Spider-Man with a white spider emblem, Spider-Man Unlimited, whose suit is a very dark blue or black with red, and a cel-shaded red and blue Spider-Man. All the Spider People meme and point at each other. Now they pursue Miles. He swings and rolls through passages. The logo glitches. Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse.
And then I looked at my uncle and...
let me guess. He died?
In a therapist's office, a Spider-Man wears a suit and tie and writes on a pad of paper. His eyes are slightly furrowed. Another Spider-Man lays on a chaise longue. In slow motion, Miles and the other Spider People burst through a wall. The suited Spider-Man falls backwards, and the chaise longue Spider-Man rolls off. Text: June 2nd, in premium formats and IMAX, only in cinemas. Message: +1 718 831 6956 to join the Spider Society. Message and data rates may apply. Hashtag Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is all one word, no dash. Logos, in association with Marvel, Sony Pictures Animation, Columbia Pictures, Sony. The view glitches, a white PS5 and controller. Play has no limits, PS5. If you have any feedback on my audio description or transcript, please let me know. If you'd like to see the first Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer with audio description, the suggested video is on the right. My name is Michael, and my pronouns are he, him. Thanks for watching.